House to Home, brought to you by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
All right, I have a hypothetical for you guys. What if you actually own a home and you're ready to sell it? Maybe it was built in the 50s, maybe the 70s, 80s, 90s, whenever it was. How do you actually get this home ready for today's market? I have thought about this question many, many times, and fortunately, I have two very good friends of mine, Liz and Gina from RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. I have thought about this, ladies, a lot. Like, if I'm going to appeal primarily to millennials, because like that crowd, they're very particular, they know exactly what they want, they tend to be on the more affluent side, so they're willing to spend, and I could really get bang for my buck. But Gina, let's start with you. Is it wise for me to actually, for lack of a better term, modernize my home, or how can I get the most bang for my buck without me having to spend an additional 50 grand to get it up to?
Well, if you've got the budget for it and you're willing to spend the money to modernize, and I'm assuming when you say modernize, you're probably looking at bathrooms and kitchens first.
Decor, architecture, motif.
Most people spend money in the kitchen and the bathrooms first, if that's if they're trying to modernize to sell. But to be honest with you, most people don't have that kind of capital to sink into a property. All they're trying to do is sell it at the highest price, the quickest amount of time they can, so they can either move on to a bigger property. Maybe they're moving up, maybe they're moving down. I've had families come in because their kids are gone and they don't need such a big place anymore. But they don't have the capital. Not everybody has the capital to modernize. So maybe we need to think about, so what can you do? What's proactive that you could do to get this house ready and get the highest amount you could get without having to spend a lot of capital on so-called modernizing it?
Yeah, Liz, this sounds like it's even more risk for me because, say, if I had the money, which I certainly do not, I could drop an additional 45 grand into the house to make it more attractive to a particular consumer, but that doesn't even guarantee that I'm going to recoup my cost.
It doesn't, because every individual buyer, they have their own taste, style, they have their own vision of the home that they want to be in. So if you don't have the capital to renovate or to modernize it, then what do we sell? We sell, it's the appeal. So if you have a home, let's say declutter it, clean out all, so that it has good bones, for example, people will come in and look and say, okay, how can we modernize this home? How can I renovate it to fit my lifestyle? So if you declutter it, they have a better way of envisioning their new home, and make sure it's clean. Take out any eyesores. So for example, if you've got a cord that's hanging or the fixtures aren't in place. So it's just minor tweaking. It's like you get a rickety car, you want to tighten up the screws. So same thing with the house, declutter it, clean it up, get rid of all the debris and all the clutter, because once you've done that, then a buyer can come in and have a vision of what they can do. You know, a lot of buyers want to look at a house, they want carports, or sometimes they want a garage, and then they want it fenced because they want their family to be secure.
You want them thinking, how do I make this my home, not how do I fix up the last guy's problems, and then I can start my work.
Yeah, and if you have a leaky faucets, I mean, those are things that won't cost too much money, but you can work on that. So if you can make it more appealing, because one thing I've heard when people walk into us, wow, it's older, but it's neat, it's clean, it's tidy, that has appeal.
What else can we do, Gina? Because like, again, it seems for me now, I'm starting to get, you know, my blood pressure, I can feel it start to go up right now, because I'm like, man, I wanted to do this as a means of hopefully making money for myself, and now it seems like it's like, man, theoretically, I could price myself right out of the market if I try and make so many incremental upgrades that I actually wind up turning potential consumers away because I'm making it.
And that's the truth. There's only so much more capital you could sink into a house, and depending on the location, the size of the property, you may price yourself out of the market. So let's talk about pricing. That is the most critical aspect. Pricing is first, decluttering and giving it the curb appeal is the second most important thing. So if you're not going to work with a real estate professional who could take a look at your property and give you an evaluation of
which is crazy,
what the highest best use is, okay? Then perhaps your alternative would be to call appraisers and say, listen, I'm getting ready to price my house. I'm going to be selling it. Can you come and give me an idea of what this property is worth? And be very careful with that, because appraisal reports are an opinion of value, and we see variations even in our line of work where we sell homes and you get appraisals done. We do see variations there. So you have to be completely honest with the appraiser and say, listen, my goal is when you give me this pricing, I'm going to put this on the market. I'm going to put it on the open market. I'm going to look for buyers who are willing to pay me the highest and best price. And hopefully you get a really good report. Because it does vary from appraiser to appraiser. It shouldn't vary that much, but we have seen big gaps. And so we just want to point that out to consumers. The other thing I want to point out is if you're going to put your house on the market and you've got your pricing, the next item you should really try to budget for is to hire an inspector to come and tell you, as Liz was pointing out, the items that are perhaps need attention. Plumbing, electrical, structure, are there cracks on the walls? Are some of the outlets not working, the lights not working? These things are critical. And once you pay for that, have those items available so you can pass it on to potential buyers.
Well, thank you very much. Well, to sum up, just basically let the professionals do it, and that's why I'm glad my friends are here, and they can help you too. So give Gina and Liz a call, if you can remember their names, like I almost did not. I'm sorry, ladies. Well, hopefully we'll give you guys a ring.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, stay tuned. We are back right after this.